Hey guys, so I'm gonna be doing the tutorial for how to spit shine your boots and polish, and I'm just gonna go step by step with everything, and it's gonna be pretty in depth, so just, bear with me. The first thing I wanna go over is what you're gonna need to polish your shoes. You're gonna need, obviously, shoe polish. So the brand that I like is the Kiwi Polish. The black one, obviously, it's a good one. It's always been decent. It's pretty cheap. You can find it literally anywhere: Walgreens, CVS, Amazon, just wherever you want to go. If you have access to the Parade Gloss version, which I think here in the US it's been discontinued, it could be available in other places, I don't know. This is the last and only can that I have, unfortunately, so I will be using it every now and then, but it's not my go-to. It does help, but you can just get as good results with the normal Kiwi one. Another brand that's good is called Saphir. That's really fancy though. It's like $30 for a tin, the small tin. And I would recommend using that if you're gonna be like spit shining your Class A's or your dress shoes, just because it's high quality polish, it's gonna look really nice. But if you're just doing your normal day-to-day boots or for academy or for any sort of boot camp, I'd recommend the Kiwi because this is just cheap anywhere and the results are really good. The next thing you're gonna want is the brush, which if you buy any sort of like polishing kit or they usually come together, you could find them. Just make sure it's the bristle. It doesn't matter the color or anything. The next thing you want to get is a cloth. Again, this one I bought with the set that it came with, but any old cotton t-shirt also works. Just cut it and make it to size. Extra things that I would recommend would be tape, just in case you just need to shine the toe box. I'm not going to be doing that. I'm going to be shining the whole front of the boot, but just in case you need it, tape, painter's tape. It's like the paper one that you can just pull out and rip. The next thing you want that really helps to spit shine is going to be cotton balls. You can buy these also just about anywhere. If you go to any not makeup, but Walgreens or CVS, like any pharmacy or even the grocery store, you can find these in like the makeup section or, care. And then last but not least, you're gonna need saddle soap is what it's called. This is gonna help you strip out any polish that you don't need, which is the first step that I'm actually gonna show you guys how to do. So here I have some old boots. They're EMS boots. I need to redo all of this, but I don't know if you can see the polish on this is really like old and just cracked and gross. So I need to strip all of this before I go into it. Oh, one more thing you need, just in case. It's nice to have a lighter. You don't need it, but it is nice to have, and I'll get into why you would need this. So just to get rid of this, you're just gonna get your cloth and put some saddle soap on it, and then it should come right off. Stripping polish is fairly easy to do. I've never had issues with it. I'm fairly certain that nail polish, like not nail polish, but like alcohol, like nail polish remover is also decent. So you're just gonna want to go in here with the saddle soap or just pretty much any acid and just rub it all off, and it should come off in a few minutes. And yeah, that's it. So I'll go over how to polish the shoes after I finish this up. Alright, so I'm on the second boot of to strip the polish, and I just wanted to go over some basic things. I don't know if you can see, but my rag already has like 3 dirty spots. After a while, once it's like accumulated a lot of polish, it's gonna have a harder time stripping. So just move your finger to a cleaner part and just restart again. And really all you need is a lot of time and elbow grease for both stripping and polishing shoes. So there's no really trick. Like if you want to do it super fast, you're just gonna need a lot of time. Things that I would avoid when stripping is like getting a knife or something sharp to cut it, because what's gonna end up happening is you're gonna actually scrape the leather off or scar it. And when you go to apply polish, that's going to become a big pain because you're going to have to apply so much to fill in the gaps that it's worth the time to just go with your finger and do it. Don't try scraping it off. So when you're doing this, obviously just go in like little circular motions like this. and just work out the old polish. And you're gonna see that it's gonna get hard to find where the polish is coming off to see it. So if you ever just want to check your work and see where you need to continue going in with the leather cleaner, just get the dry part of the rag and rub it off. And then you're gonna see that there's like little shiny bits. I don't know if you can see, but that's gonna be where the polish is that you need to get off, and the part that's textured and dull is gonna be the exposed leather. And that's it. Just keep on going until it's completely stripped, and then you can start your shining process. So apologies for the light difference. I just realized while I was recording, well, while I was editing, that this part wasn't recorded. Like, the most important part wasn't recorded. So you're gonna get this. It's gonna look a little awkward, but doesn't matter. It's a little tutorial anyways, so nothing fancy. So this part, I'm gonna go over how to start your base polish for the spit shine. So I've already stripped everything and everything's nice and clean and ready to go. Before you start polishing, I recommend that you get the brush and just take out any dust or hairs or anything that's just been sitting there, just so you can start with a really clean base. And for this, you're obviously going to need your polish and your rag and your brush. This is the step that if you're going to need to tape off your toe box, you're going to get your taper's paint. You're pretty much just going to tape off wherever you want, just like this. And it's going to look more or less like that. Make sure it reaches all the way down here and here, and that it's straight across like this, and there's no like wrinkles. Like I just made one right now, like no air bubbles. I'm not going to be doing this, but if you were going to be lining off your toe box, that's how you do it. And obviously match it on this shoe as well. That's about it. So this is arguably the most important part of the spit shine, because this is what it's going to be based, like it's going to be built off of this base. And what you want to do is you pretty much want to cover all the texture and have it super, super smooth with polish. So the way I'm going to do this is I'm going to do 5 layers on each shoe, and then I'm going to buff it out. So I'm going to get my rag. This is how I do it. I get one finger, and I get the rag part. I just put it underneath, tie it like this, and then just twist it like that. And then I just wrap it around and hold it tight, and this leaves it super flat and nice and ready for me to just rub it in. So I just get my polish, just like that. About this much, and you're just gonna start rubbing it in. Just go in here and just start rubbing it in. You're probably gonna need to re-put your finger in the polish multiple times, so just do that. With these boots, since they're already used and quite old, I like to put my hand in here and push up against the ridges, like where there's wrinkles and stuff, so I can just get the the polish better in there. You're just going to work it in pretty much. So I'm not going to do all the layers because I'm going to be using my other boots for the spit shine, but I'm just showing you how this is going to work. So you're just going to rub it in. Here you can be more forceful with the polish. You can push it in quite a bit. And you're just going to go in circles, and you're just going to be rubbing it in. And once I'm done with this, so this is one layer, I'm going to put this boot aside and then do the first layer on this boot. And then I'm going to go to this one. So 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Once I have 5 layers, I'm going to get my brush and I'm going to start knocking off the excess. And you don't want to go in there and start doing this number, because then you're just going to ruin it all. So you just want to get it and kind of lightly, like up and down, just knocking off the excess. You don't want to brush all of it off. It's going to look more like this. And you're going to do this for both shoes. And now the recommended amount of layers for a spit shine is, I believe, between 10 to like 20 layers. It all depends on the material your shoe's made out of, how old are they, and like, what's your level of like polishing. Like I've done this multiple times, so I don't have to go crazy on it, but if you're new to polishing, then it might take you a little longer than you're used to. So just go at it. So I'd recommend to do this process of the 5-5 and then buff it out at least twice, if not 4 times, so 2 to 4 times. A big thing is you don't want to put too much polish too fast because it's not going to get very moist and hydrated, which that can become a problem later on. So I highly, highly, highly recommend that you just don't do 5 here and then immediately 5 on this one. That you just do 1 and then 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. Like you stagger the layers in between the boots and not just do one after the other. Because if it's too moist, what's going to happen is that it's going to start peeling off. And then you're going to have to restart from scratch. So really make sure that doesn't happen. And once you have a good base layer, I would show you how it looks like, but I already spit shined the boots. But pretty much any of the pores you see here are going to be gone and it's going to be smooth. You shouldn't see really any texture. And again, that's between 10 to 20 layers. If you have new boots, it's probably going to be around 10 to 15. If they're older ones like these, I'm probably going to do 15 to 20 layers just to be safe because I don't want to have to restart the base layer for my spit shine. But yeah, that's how you do it. So now is the time we're going to start the spit shine. So you should have your good base layer. I cannot emphasize enough how important having a good base layer is, because if not, you're going to have a very hard time getting that spit shine going. So for the spit shine, you're going to need your gloss. It doesn't have to be the Parade gloss. I'm not going to be using Parade gloss, but this is the tin that's next to me. So again, normal kiwi is fine. I have that right here. It's a bigger tin of it. But more importantly, you're going to really be needing the tin can. I'm going to show you in a second why. You're going to be needing your cotton balls. You don't need the cotton balls. You can just as easily use your rag, but I just prefer this because it gets really, really smooth and I like the results that it gets me. The brush you can put aside for now. You're probably not going to need it unless you need to start adding more layers of polish. But that probably means you didn't do good enough of a base layer if you're having a really hard time getting a spit shine going. So for the spit shine, you're not going to need this anymore. And then last but not least, your lighter. This is more like to cover up your mistakes if you're overhydrating the polish. If you do a pretty good job, you're not going to be needing it, but I just have it handy just in case I do need it because I'd rather not let my boots rest for a very long time. If you have signs of overhydration, you need to immediately correct it, because if not, it's just gonna get worse. And last but not least, which is what makes a spit shine, is you're gonna need water. I know it's called spit shine because people used to spit on it back in the day, but we live in the 21st century in America, and I'm sure that you have running water nearby handy at a moment's notice. So get some water. You don't need to be spitting stuff. So, whatever you're going to be using to spit shine, whether it be your cotton balls or your rag, you're going to want it to be slightly damp. So I just put the entire cotton ball in here and then squeeze out the excess water. Just like this. And then it's be nice and flat. Just moist. That's all you're going to need. You're not going to get results immediately when you're spit shining. It's going to have to take you a few goes to get it. So you're just going to need to be patient. So you're going to get your polish and your damp rag or cotton ball, whatever. You're just going to put a little bit of polish on it, just like this much. It was just like 2 swipes. That's all you need. And grab your boot and just little by little, you're going to start working it in. Initially, it's going to look like dull, which it's fine. That's how it's going to start off with. That's totally okay. But just keep on working it in. This is the part that you're going to need patience. So you're going to just do tiny little circles and just start rubbing it in. Just rubbing it in, rubbing it in. And then when you see that like maybe it's your rag or your cotton ball has gotten a little bit dull, just dip it just like once. That's all you need. You need very, very, very little polish in this step. and just start working it in. I'll do an update later on once I've gotten this going, but pretty much you're gonna want to polish this until the dullness that you see, I don't know if you can tell, but it's not shiny, it's a little dull, starts to go away. And once that goes away, you're gonna redo the process. Redampen the cotton ball or rag just a little bit, and then add a little bit more polish, and then keep on shining until the dullness goes away, and just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. Now at this step, it's really important that you don't overhydrate. I cannot emphasize that enough, because if you start overhydrating everything or putting too much pressure on the polish, it's going to start stripping, and then that's just avoid it, because then if it's really bad, you're going to have to restart the whole process. So everything that you've done is just going to go to waste. So I don't know if you can tell already, but this already looks pretty shiny compared to this other boot. And the goal right now is to get this one into a mirror. And I just want to be able to look at it and smile and see my reflection. That means we've done a good job. And I'll update, obviously, when I get to that point. And of course, just flip-flop in between shoes and give them a little bit time to dry so you don't overhydrate, because the last thing you want to do is fuck them up. It's going to start making it shiny. Again, don't overhydrate. And you want the cloth or whatever it is to be a little damp, so even when you're done finishing and it's still wet enough, you can still just go and get a little bit more polish and start working it in, more polish, working it in until you're like, man, this is a little bit too dry. So you're just going to dip it in the water just a little bit like this. And then again, just squeeze it all out and then rinse and repeat until you got your shoes spit shine to whatever degree you want them to be. I'd recommend you get them as shiny as possible, just whatever you want. And again, be careful for overhydration. I'm going to spit shine my other boots as well and then show you how this can come in handy. I have yet to have an overhydration issue with these, but if you do have it, it's going to start like peeling off. Like imagine you got a bunch of paper and put water on it and started rubbing on it, and the paper starts to come like little balls of it start to come out. That's pretty much what it's going to look like. And you're just going to get the lighter and go super light over it. If you get this too close and make it too hot, you're going to melt it all, and that's a bit of an issue more for the spit shine. However, if you have boots like these that have creases in them and it's hard to get the polish in there, it's okay to get the lighter and just get close enough to melt it and then just get out of it and then work the polish in. That's more like quick fixes if you have cracked polish, because when you walk in them, they're going to start to flake and crack. Just get a lighter and go over it and make it smooth again and go over with a cloth or one of these. And that should be good. I'll make the final update when this is as polished as I want it to be. Spit shine or mirror shine, however you want to call it, with this piece of cotton, a cotton ball. The only issue that towards the end when you want to make it like pretty much smooth as glass is that since this is very textured and has like fibers in it, it's going to start leaving like little scratch marks on it. So for the final like touch up, I get my cloth, which the cloth you want to use has to be super, 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 super smooth. I don't know if you see it, but there's like, it's super fine knit. There's no parts that are just going to scratch my polish. So at the very end, you want to go just super lightly and start rubbing in, like the last bit. I just put some water on it, just a little bit, just dab it, get it wet, and then make sure it's only moist. You do not want a wet cloth. And just slowly just start going around in circles as the final touch. And it should smooth out any imperfections. I did not put any polish on this because I already did all my polish with the little cotton ball. And just keep on going until pretty much it dries out. You want to remove any little hairs that you see and just go over any parts that have like lines on them. Just look closely and you'll see them. And that should leave you with a really, really flat and glossy polish. And then you're done from there. I'm probably going to call it quits after this because it's just about where I want it. If I feel like it needs more, I'm just going to go in back with the cloth and then, not the cloth, the cotton ball with some polish, and I should be good. Once this is done, I'll show you how it actually looks like. I'll get the camera and zoom it in, and you'll be able to see the reflection. Because right now, I can see different colors. If I look here, I can see the orange of my lighter. I can see the black here. I can see the white cotton balls. I can pretty much read what my shirt says here, and I can see how many fingers I'm holding up. And I'll show that with the camera once I'm done drying this off. Alright, so I just finished spit shining these shoes. I don't know if you can see, unfortunately, that my camera, this one doesn't really show the details too well, but I'll show it in a different, just pictures I'm going to be putting up. It's quite glossy, and compared to the one that is not spit shined, it looks pretty decent. You see it's like glittering. If I stand up, I can see my reflection on it. So if I do this number, I can still see myself. This part is not as shiny as the front, but that's fine. That's the goal I'm looking for, is more of it to be a mirror. But if I look down here, if I'm standing up, I can see my face and my shirt and the lettering on it. So I think that's good enough for me. I might go at it again if I feel necessary, but right now I feel like it's pretty decent. And yeah, that's how you spit shine shoes.